Welcome. How are you doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Sunday. For some of you, I guess it might be Sunday. Thank you, Gina. Hi, Mark. Hey, Anthony. How is everybody? Hi, Corley. Hi, Jason. Thank you. Well, I think that we finally got the sound right today. I think we did. I did lots of test runs. I've changed microphones. Instead, I'm using this VPS 80 from American Audio, which I really like. And yeah, it's not a new mic, but I'm trying it new for my live. And yeah, anyway, I did lots of test runs with headphones, and hopefully we got it right today. We'll see. Thank you. I have John is, what do you call it? Moderating, and he's sitting right next to me. So I wanted to take a little cue from Rick. I watched Rick's live yesterday. It's a good one. He starts with Dylan, and he plays a lot of notes, and then he talks for a long time about a lot of stuff, and then he takes some questions. But his intern was taking notes like the whole time through the video. Hello, Greece. And he was writing down like the good questions that came, like the questions that he thought Rick would actually want to answer. And then at the end, so you have to wait for the very end for the Ask Me Anything on Rick's. But then he actually gives some great responses to everybody's questions. So I kind of like that. So I asked John if he could to just kind of keep track of people's questions that might be good ones. Not that there are bad questions. Well, you know, on the live, sometimes there are. So, yeah, he'll keep track of questions that he thinks I might like to answer. And Mr. Shank would like you to say hello to your brother, Nick. We're not related to Nick Nolte, to our knowledge, but all the time John gets called Nick. And so do my kids. A lot of times people just forget their name and call them Nick. What are you going to do? One kind of famous person that we are related to is John's brother, Matt. Anybody know who Matt Nolte is? Probably not. But he works for Pixar. So he created all kinds of cool characters that you guys know, like Merida from Brave and Remy from Ratatouille. Matt is super talented, and you can see his work like on the internet. We have a lot of fun looking up Matt's work. Let's do another tune. Hola, Colombia. Hey, Jason. Mr. Shank knows Matt Nolte. Good, good, good. Oh, you like the earrings? Thank you. They were a gift. They're from Brighton, which I like quite a bit. You'd like to hear Waters of March. That's a nice idea, Rachel. Now, I think you know that I don't know the words to that, but I can try to do my best on it. I was listening to Waters of March by Elis Regina and Toots Thielmans the other day on YouTube. Have you guys looked up that video? There are quite a few fun videos of the two of them, and I just love them because Toots was such a fun dude. I wish I knew him. I mean, he plays the harmonica, and I think he plays the guitar in some, and he whistles like a champion. Totally whistles like a champion. And yeah, they sang that one together. Lyrics are great too. I like a lot of them were going through my head as I was singing it, but I haven't learned them all. It's a lot. Like the truck that got stuck, it's the mud, it's the mud. What's another one? Something about the body in bed. I can't remember, but they're great words. Hello, Long Island. When am I coming to Long Island? I don't know that I've actually ever been out on Long Island. They say Long Island, right? I was just in New York, though, and I had a great time. Hello, Napoli and England. Bobby, nice to see you. Cassandra Wilson does Waters of March as well. I haven't heard that. I'll bet she does a really nice job. That reminds me of a tune I played at my gig last night that I kind of ripped off of Cassandra Wilson a long time ago. I think it was the album called New Moon Daughter. Does anybody have that? It's a good album. I listened to that a lot when I was first getting started, and I also listened to her album with Jackie Terrison, which was also really good. But I did an arrangement of this tune. Do you guys know who did this one originally? and I'll meet you at the station. We can be there by 4:30, 'cause I made your reservation. Don't be slow. That's right, it's the Monkees. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no, no. And I don't know if I'm ever coming home. Yeah, hey, you're right, you're right. There was a great version of Harvest Moon. And that's funny you mentioned that, because I also ripped off that Harvest Moon from her. In fact, every time I play Harvest Moon now, I still think of that version. I mean, of course, I also think of the Neil Young, which is just one of the most beautiful recordings there ever was. I love to play Harvest Moon. I play it in D flat, except for when I play with a guitar player, then we switch and play it in D, because it's so much nicer in D. Come a little bit closer and hear what I have to say. Just like children sleeping, we can dream this night away. Thank you, Alan. Oh, I'm glad, Mark. Thanks for letting me know. Because I'm still in love with you, I wanna hear you dance again. Because I'm still in love with you on this harvest moon. I almost slipped into Cassandra Wilson there. Because I'm still in love. How she goes, kind of throaty. I heard it. I almost did it, but I can't really pull that off. Otherwise, I sound like Kermit the Frog. I'm just trying to imitate the guitar right there. I think that it is nice in D flat. I think it's a really warm key. Thanks, Remy. Those are my voicings. They're kind of like a ton of notes. I'm using all 5 fingers for every one of those voicings. Like C, D flat, F, A flat. Actually, that's only 4 fingers. That's my first one. And then the second one is all 4 fingers. And I go, hey, Matt Chavez, or Mark Chavez, nice to see you. D flat, E flat, F, A flat, B flat. And then I change to like that. It's just pretty much all the notes of the D flat major scale, skipping the 4th, of course. And you play them kind of quiet. It sounds pretty nice. Oh, good, Dennis. I'm glad. Yeah, those major notes, I mean, they're all up for grabs. You can learn that so well. Man, have you guys seen June Lee's transcription of Jacob Collier's Georgia this week? I love that. I need to keep watching it like a lot more. What I like to do when I watch June's transcriptions is pick apart. You can't always stay with the same part because sometimes Jacob's got like 5 notes and sometimes he's got 9. So you can't always take the same part, but I like to take like what would be like the low alto part and just try to sing it the whole way through. And that's a really fun exercise, I think. And then I'll even go through and try to sing the men's notes an octave up. Anyway, he starts the tune, and I can't remember, I mean, he sings every single note in the major scale, and it just happens, they layer really fast on top of each other, and June wrote them out so you can see. And I think he waits for the 4th until the very end, and he puts it at the bottom. Like, I can't remember. If it's in the key of F, it's kind of like he goes, something like that, and he holds out every single note, and it's like all the notes of the major scale, and it's beautiful, really cool. Jacob has amazing ideas. I also love how at the end of it, and you can see, I think my comment. I made a comment on the video, and I think it's kind of toward the top, right after a really funny comment that somebody made about June being a well-rounded individual. Where I talk about the ending, I kind of analyze it right there because it kind of blew me away, the way he ended Georgia on my mind. It's really worth checking out. John, are there any questions I should hop to? Questions?
Yeah, I mean, there's one, somebody asked, they'd love to know about your approach to teaching private music lessons, especially with beginners.
Well, that is a good question. You probably couldn't hear him. Someone would like to know what my approach is.
It was Jack Pryor.
It was Jack Pryor. Oh, Jack, I taught you a lesson, right? We had one lesson. No, I can't remember. Jackson Pryor, I think so. I think Jackson's a bass player. So, yeah, I've kind of developed my approach more and more over the last year. But what I like to do is, yeah, it was maybe a couple of years ago, huh? Jackson's really cool. You should look him up. Tell him your Instagram handle, Jackson. He always posts what he's working on. He wants to be a singing bass player, I think. I like to ask people. Well, usually people write me a little background of themselves when they write to me and ask for a Skype lesson, which is good. It's good as long as you keep it pretty brief, because I have quite a few of those to go through. So I'd kind of just like it to be like maybe 2 paragraphs long or something. That would be ideal. And you tell me just a little bit about why you play piano. Sometimes people tell me about how they quit playing for a long time and now they're back, and that, I mean, that happens all the time to everybody. It's unfortunate, but at least they come back. And then let me know why you want to play again. That's the first thing I need to find out in the lesson. I need to know if you're going to be playing with a bass player, if you're going to be playing solo piano, how into jazz you want to get. Like sometimes people just want to be able to play the standards kind of to play for their friends around the house or their family or accompany people. There's all kinds of different reasons why people want to play the piano. So I have to find that out first. And I do get people who say, I'd really like to make my own arrangements of, like you just said, Billy Joel's Piano Man, or I want to know how to add my own, flair or whatever to pop tunes, and that's cool too. I like to teach those lessons. But then if I know what you want to do, then I usually ask them to play for me just a little bit, like something they've been working on, and then a lot of times I'll give them like a short, tiny quiz just to find out where their knowledge is. I'll say, can you play a B fully diminished chord, and how about playing an A minor 7 chord in root position? Can you play a D7 chord and add the 13? Sometimes I have to back up. I have to be like, can you play an E flat? But it just, it's different for everybody. So you kind of figure out where they're at, and then go from there. And my whole goal is at the end of the lesson to give people something that they can achieve their goals with. And most of the time I only teach people about once a month because I can't quite fit them in more than that. But I try to give them stuff for about a month to work on. Anyway, I hope that answered that. Oh, that's a good question, Rachel. Even though you say to throw away your real book, do you think it's a good thing to have at the beginning? Don't throw away your real book. I still use them for reference sometimes. So I just say to put them away. Put them in a spot where they're a little bit hard to get to. And Corley, I'm glad you can play an E flat. Good job, girl. And then, yeah, because I told somebody else in a lesson the other day, sometimes if somebody calls a tune, like maybe Polka Dots and Moonbeams is one, that's a tune that I haven't really listened to a lot of recordings of, but in my mind's eye, I can still kind of see what it looks like in the real book. I don't have like a great visual memory like that, but that's where I learned that tune, was in the real book. So sometimes I still pull on that knowledge from when I was just a teenager flipping through the real book trying to learn as many tunes as I could because I couldn't afford the recordings. So you just kind of have to see, where you're at in your finances and in your progression as a musician. But I do think it's a good thing in the beginning. I don't think it's bad, but I always do think you should try to listen to more recordings. Let's see. How about another request? Do you guys have requests? And then I'll take another question.
Somebody requested Just Friends a while ago.
Just Friends is good. I haven't played that in a really long time, though. I don't even know what key I sing it in. Let me play through it for a second. I don't think I do. Well, yeah, I think you're right. I do sing it in C. Just friends, lovers no more. Just friends, but not like before. To think of what we've been and not to kiss again seems like pretending it isn't the ending. Two friends drifting apart. Two friends, but one broken heart. We loved, we laughed, we cried, and suddenly love died. The story ends, but we're just friends. That's a good tune. I need to play that more often. I've got a gig tonight. I should play it at my gig tonight. Yeah. Any questions, John?
Do you think Jacob's harmonic? I just lost it.
Something about Jacob.
Do you think Jacob's harmonic approach?
Do I think Jacob's
layers of notes throughout a tune is the future in jazz?
harmonic approach, comma.
Is the future in jazz?
Oh, like multi-layers of many notes
Yeah.
is the future of jazz. I don't know. I think it's part of the future of jazz. I think it's his future. And I mean, I think we've only just begun to see what he's capable of doing with that. I can't tell you where my gig is tonight. It's secret. I got hired and somebody told me I can't tell anybody, but it's fancy. It's a fancy one. I also think there's tons of avenues that are opening up. And I think that social media and video streaming is kind of like, it's fueling the future of jazz, which is amazing. People can listen to music more than they ever could before, and artists can get their music out more than they ever could before. So I think it's forcing people to be extra, extra creative. And I love it. No, I don't know that tune. You said Johnny Come Lately? That's a Billy Strayhorn tune? I don't know that tune. I should look it up. It makes me think, I think there's a James Taylor tune called that, isn't there? I know that one. Another question, John? Or
let's see. Tips for an experienced classical piano player to get into jazz. Improvisation is a bit intimidating.
Oh, actually, I stumbled upon something the other day in a lesson that I think is good for that question. And the question was, do I know to Damn Your Eyes? I do know that song. That's a great song, Justin. I learned it from Johnny Cash. Okay, back. How can a classical player start to improvise, I think, is the question. Now, classical music was improvised, back a long time ago. We hear about Bach and Mozart and coming up with amazing improvisations on the spot, but it's kind of been lost. This is what I stumbled upon in the lesson the other day. I had a student playing Ooh, what was he playing? He was playing some bossa nova. Doesn't matter what it was. Let's say that it was Gingy, and at the end, let me see. How does that go? You know how when a bossa nova ends, sometimes we play a vamp on it, and a really common vamp is to take the major chord at the end of the song, like C major, and play it for a bar, and then to go down to B flat major and play it for a bar, and then to come back to C major. So you get this kind of sound. So that would be me without you, my Gingy. And then you can do this until you feel like ending. So anyway, I said that's a really nice device to get you to start to improvise. So I said all you have to do is play the notes of a C major chord over the C major chord, and then you play the notes of a B flat major scale over the B flat major chord, and come up with some nice ideas. So with your left hand, you can just go something like that. That's a C, G, G, C, B flat, F, F, B flat. Start simple like that. Maybe not that. Just like that, and you can start to improvise very slowly, just with a vamp. I think a vamp is a really nice idea with some scale that you're already familiar with. Does that make sense? Any more, John? Would I be willing to give a horn player lessons? Oh, and thank you for your nice compliment. Yeah, of course. I give lessons to people of all instruments. It doesn't really matter. I don't really think of myself as a voice teacher or a piano teacher, but more of a music teacher.
Somebody says, I love your channel. Could you please do more videos on playing what you sing and how to improve it? I would love to get good at it so that my fingers do not dictate what I'm playing.
Cool question.
In a methodological way.
Somebody is asking if I could please do more videos about point and sing, and that's a good idea. I don't know if my first video was my point and sing video, if it was too difficult or too easy, because I'm afraid with that I'll jump too fast and make people afraid if I make another video about it, because my point and sing practice is more complicated. But yeah, and you know, in fact, I think I need to make a video about pointing and singing and singing and playing in harmony too, because I think that helps. Chris wants to know how much I charge. Email me, Chris. It's not a lot. It's not a whole lot. How about, is there another good request, Jonan? Ooh, there's a good one right now. It says, Being Green, For the Love of Kermit. I love that tune. Boy, who sings that tune so nice? Is it Shirley Horn? Shirley Horn sings that tune so nice. Ray Charles sang it too, is that right? Let me think about my key. What? Somebody wants John to do the Snoopy dance to the Peanuts theme song. That's a great idea, but maybe not on camera. Maybe that's too high. Let me try it here. G, maybe? That's a good bright key. It's not easy being green, having to spend each day the color of the leaves, when I think it would be nice being red or purple or brown, or something much more colorful like that. It's not easy being green, seems you blend in with so many ordinary things. Oh, I can't remember the words. Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember. I have to look at them again. Something about, no, I can't remember. Green is the color of spring, and green can be kind of cool and friendly like, and green can be big like an ocean, or important like a river, or small like a stream. When green is all there is to be, it might make you sit around and wonder why. But why wonder? Why wonder? I am green and it'll do fine. It's beautiful, and I think it's what I want to be. Sorry, I forgot those words. That's a great tune. Great tune. I think, man, if Melania Trump were a smart woman and she's really gonna do this anti-bullying campaign, wouldn't that be a cool song to make like the forefront of it, like of the bullying going on? Like if people were comfortable with who they are and stuff. Like, I mean, that song just says volumes, doesn't it? It speaks like to everybody too. I love it. I think, yeah, I do think that's a big problem in the world, and a song like that. I mean, Jim Henson wrote it, right? What a message. The Rainbow Connection, are you kidding me? Man, like, yeah, I'm not doing politics, Corley, but I do think that, you know, those two songs are important for people to think about. Let's see. Any other good ones, John? We should probably wrap up.
Rachel, Piano Girl, asked, how do you keep from being nervous or having stage fright?
How do I keep from being nervous or having stage fright? It's a good question. I think that Jim Henson did write it, Victor. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, he was an incredible man. Sometimes, I don't know. I try to pretend that that I'm in my house and I'm playing for fun, for me, for nobody else, and just kind of forget about people, because when you start thinking about that too much, it can affect your playing. And not to say that I'm over it, I'm not. But if I can forget about all that stuff and just think about this stuff, it helps a lot. And you know, there's a feeling that happens when you start to get a little bit of stage fright, I think. It's really hard to put your finger on, and it might be different for other people. But for me, it's like a drop to your stomach, and your heart starts to beat faster, something like that. And if I get that feeling, I'm like done for. I got that feeling as a kid a lot, so I really try to avoid that feeling by just kind of taking some breaths and just kind of like loosening up, like I'm going out to play some basketball or something, and be like, all right, this is what I do. This is fun. No big deal. I got this. Kind of, you know, like a little pep talk to yourself, and just remind yourself to calm down. It's not a big deal. Nobody's gonna hate you if you mess up. They're just all glad that they're not the one up there. So I always kind of have that in mind too. Your hands shake, Rachel. Oh, I'm sorry. Corley relies on the vodka. If it works, yeah, I don't know. Maybe one more, John. What do you think?
One more question, or
are there some good ones, or?
I mean, Gina really wants to know your technique on House of the Rising Sun when you played it with Charlie.
Gina really wants to know my technique on House of the Rising Sun when I played it with Charlie. Is it Gina with a J and then a lot of H's?
J-E-E-N-A.
Yeah. I know Gina. Yeah, let's see. Charlie and I did House of the Rising Sun. I can't remember what key we did that in. C minor, maybe? Let's pretend it was in C minor. So, oh, thank you, Nate. My mother-in-law painted this, and actually on my website, I've scanned an image, and it's on, like, you can have it on a mug or something if you want. On my website, it's on the merchandise. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So it's kind of like this. It was D minor for Charlie? Okay. Kind of like this. It's like gritty, right? And I use my thumb to play a D and a C both at the same time. I have a crazy thumb. It bends backwards much too far. But so I use my thumb and then I play. So the C. Oh, it was C minor. Okay. So I won't do that in C minor. Sorry. So back to C minor. Okay, so all I need to do is just have this sound of the rub there, so a B flat and a D and an E flat and a G. Oh, it's like I Feel Pretty, right? But C minor. So you think D minor is the saddest key? I feel you there. I feel you there. Now, one thing you can do is to hold on to the G. I know it's a crazy thumb. John has the same crazy thumb, and so do all of our kids. So there, and you hold on to the G, and you kind of like that. You really pop the 2, 3, 4, and you hold the G, kind of like that. And left hand, I don't know what I do with my left hand. I go boom, pop, boom, boom, pop. I pull my thumb back. Like, I don't know why I do it, but I do. I totally pull my finger off of the piano. I think it makes it grittier to me somehow. Yeah. Anyway, we can go over that in a lesson sometime if you'd like, Gina. Yeah. Any others?
Question, there's a lot of
yeah, that chord's got some stank on it.
A lot of requests for songs.
For songs? Okay, you want to say some?
Anything by Burt Bacharach, The Closer I Get to You by Roberta Flack, Nearness of You, Star Eyes, Freedom Jazz Dance, Stardust.
He's telling me all these songs.
Birdland.
Good songs, everybody. Burt Bacharach, you said, let's look up songs by Burt Bacharach. Can you do that? Yeah. Read off a bunch of them, and then we can pick one. That might be good. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head is a good one. Say a Little Prayer. That's a good one. The Look of Love is a good one. Any of those are good. How about, Raindrops. Let's do Raindrops. Oh, you guys want to hear Close to You? Man, I was playing Close to You a lot because that's my favorite thing to listen to lately is Jacob Collier's live version of Close to You. And if I listen to it for like a half hour straight and then I come to the piano, I play the crap out of Close to You. But somehow I really want to copy Jacob on it, like his feel, because that beat is everything. Anyway, I don't want to just play it cold right now. I'd like to be listening to it for a while and then play it. I don't know if I'll ever do that. Okay, so Raindrops, let's do that. So I started in C right there. That's a little high for me. I'll have to hit a B if I do that, and I don't want to hit no B. So I'm thinking A flat. And you got to think of what's the movie, Bonnie and Clyde? Yeah. Is that right? Oh yeah, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And they're riding a bike with this song. Raindrops keep falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet were too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, those blues they sent to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness comes up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon keep turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Nothing's worrying me. Do 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 do, beep ba boom ba do, do 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 da da do, do 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 da do, beep ba boom ba bo, do 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 ba boom ba bo do, do 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 ba boom ba ba boom ba bo, do 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 ba boom ba ba do, do 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 ba boom ba 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 bo, do do do. Oh, thank you for buying my CD, Just Us. That's so nice, and it made it all the way to Austria. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah.
How do you pick out songs for a set list for a concert?
Oh, that's a good question. How do I pick out songs for a set list? I've learned from my side guys about that over the years. They have different ideas. My guitar player, Hide Tokunaga, on my album Just Us, he had a way of doing it, and his way was that you don't want to put, it was like you want to have a song in 4, and then you want to have a song in 3, and then maybe you want to have an odd meter song, and then, and he also wouldn't put minor tunes and major tunes, like he wouldn't put 2 minor tunes together. So he was thinking about feel and about tonality, which I thought is a really good idea. So I think about those things when I put one together. My guitar player, Joshua Payne, has another system for it. I don't know if he'll get mad at me for giving away his secret system, but it is that you rate each song. You make a list of all the songs that you want to play that night, and then you go through and you rate each song from amazing to chill. So like a song that's like really intense, that is going to build and get loud, and maybe it's a really good ender, like an ender, you give it a 10. And then your songs that are more chill or whatever, you would put like at a 4 or a 5 or something. And then so you put a number by every single tune. And then you go and rate them by how you want people to feel while you play. So maybe you want to open up with like a 6 or a 7. And then you might want to drop it down for a second to like a 3, and then your next one might be an 8. And anyway, yeah, that's his system. I mostly think about feel. So if I do an up-tempo swing tune to open, I might do a bossa second, and then I might do a faster swing tune or a samba or something, and then I might do a ballad. I kind of just like to keep people guessing, and then I'll do something in 3. Like, yeah, I hope that answers that. And let's do one more question and one more song, and we'll call it good. Does that sound like an idea? I really like this setup, John, with you right there. I think it's perfect.
Question?
It really puts you in charge, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He's like God with the questions.
You answered most of the questions that were good.
Oh, he thinks I answered most of the questions.
There's a lot of people want you to play Donna Lee.
Oh, I could play Donna Lee. We could end with that. I think, yeah.
And a lot of people have said
Moon River and Donna Lee. That guy named Taco's back. He said, John's in charge for once. Oh my gosh. Who is that dude? Let's see. Donnelly. I think our video cut out for a second. I apologize about that. But yeah, and let's go into Moon River, and then I did not break my own noodling rule. Are you kidding me?
Now a lot of people want Joe Beam or Boston.
Oh, now people would like to hear Joe Beam. Okay, so instead of the Moon River, well, let's do Desafinado. Thank you, Justin. Yes, I do. Let's do Desafinado, and I'll call it good. We'll end it right there. Love is like a never-ending melody. Poets have compared it to a symphony. A symphony conducted by the lighting of the moon. But our song of love is slightly out of tune. Thank you, Don. Once your kisses raised me to a fever pitch. But now the orchestration doesn't seem so rich. It seems to me you've changed the tune we used to sing. Like, oh, there we go. Like the bossa nova love should swing. We used to harmonize two souls in perfect time. But now the song is different and the words don't even rhyme. 'Cause you forgot the melody that our hearts would always croon. And so we're good to love that's slightly out of tune. Attune your heart to mine the way it used to be. And join with me in harmony and sing love song. We're bound to get in tune again before too long. Well, then there'll be no desafinado when your heart belongs to me completely. Then we won't be slightly out of tune. You'll sing along with me. Do hit the like button if you didn't do it already. Subscribe to me if you didn't do it already. I'll talk about one last thing before I end because, thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate that. Somebody asked me a question this week that I never could have dreamed somebody would ask. They wrote to me and they said, I think it was an older gentleman, and he said, Amy, what does it involve to subscribe to you? How much does it cost, and what do I gain access to? That was his question. So I wrote him back and I said, it doesn't cost a dang thing. All you do is press the subscribe button, and then all that means is that you add one number to my YouTube status, and you get an email notification every time I make a video so that you don't miss one. And I wrote him back, I said that, and then he wrote me back and said, looks like I have to create a Google account, and I don't want to do that because my email is through Yahoo, and it has been for years, and I don't want to change my email. So cute. Anyway, if you're listening and you have that question, of course you can have more than one email address, right? You can have as many as you want. I have one email address that I use for friends and family. I have one that I use for the public, my Yahoo one. I've got one that I use when I sign up for things so that all the spam comes there. Like, you can have a ton of, thank you for subscribing, Nate. You can have a lot of email addresses, and creating a Google account doesn't mean, it might mean that your whole life is now available to everybody. I don't really know, but it's not scary, and you can just do it. And it's important to have a Google account, I think. We use it for a lot of things these days. Sharing files with each other, listening to music, all kinds of things. So yeah, hey, thank you for subbing up, Carol. She subbed up. Carter subbed up. Yeah, everybody sub up. What the heck? Thank you guys. I'll see you next time on Amy Nolte Music.